And welcome, everybody. We are playing a game of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. This is Vancouver Adjacent by Night. And we have some sponsors for this awesome show. First, I'd like to give you a warning, though. So, as a warning, this is a mature game and it explores some dark and troubling themes. These may include body horror, gore, violence, loss of character agency, gaslighting, mind control, and many others. Our players have discussed consent and boundaries, and we collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. The players will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using yellow or red cards in our private chat. If you as a viewer ever feel uncomfortable by or triggered, please pause and step away from the game. Our streams are available on YouTube after the game, so you can always come back to an episode if you feel ready or skip forward to the next one. So, thank you to our wonderful host and sponsor, Level Up Dice, for giving us the opportunity to share a story with you. Please support them by purchasing their exquisite dice or by spreading word about them on social media. So, today's dice is going to be the Tremere for no apparent reason, just because you guys like giving shade to Abigail from the other game. No reason whatsoever. Also, our new sponsor for season 3 is Dogmite Games. Dogmite Games is the best gaming company you've never heard of. They combine craftsmanship with artistry to create truly unique pieces of functional art for your game. From dice boxes and rolling trays to fully sculpted Valhalla screens for GMs, each piece is created on site in their workshop in Michigan by a devoted team of craftsmen. And we have these. These are the player pads that we all have. See if I can readjust mine to get it in there. Nope. Light. There we go. And you can see the hunger thing on there. So you can mark it off with a dry erase marker if you want. Then you can keep track of how hungry you're getting if you go out the night before and light a bunch of fires, whatnot. Not throwing
do that?
any shade on anybody on that one.
I don't know what
irresponsible.
you're talking about at all. Like, who would do such a thing?
Steve's talking crazy talk.
I know, right?
And also, if you go to the Dogmite website, they also have a sale on their DM screens right now. And they are awesome DM screens. I totally want to get one. But I'm not going to get one just yet. I'm going to, buy one later. So let's introduce our vampires, and let's start with brand new and happy to be here, happy to be part of the team, Primogen. Charlotte?
Hi, I'm Brennan. I'm playing Charlotte. I am still the Primogen, but I am not happy to be here.
We'll get into why in just a couple of seconds. Next up is Charlie.
Hi, I'm Zachary Vado playing Charlie Lawrence, the Malkavian Primogen. I fell asleep waiting for two of my coterie to get back from girls' night and forgot to change clothes.
And things are all smudged. Speaking of girls' night, Elena.
Hi, Samantha McLarty. I am playing the Elena, the Molotov Princess Cortez this evening, and I mean, what's a few fires between best friends, right? Self-care.
Right. Yeah. I got nothing. All right. Harley.
Hi, I'm Patrick. Hi, I'm Patrick Gill, and I'm playing Harley, the Nosferatu Primogen, and y'all are on the clock. Come on.
I'm deeply disappointed and extremely proud all at the same time as a storyteller right now. And last but certainly not least, Cassandra.
Hi, I'm Lex. I play the Toreador Cassandra, Harpy, Primogen, and VP of the newly formed Bad Girls Club. Yeah.
VP, that implies...
I'm making eye motions, but no one can see them.
VP kind of implies that there's another VP and then a president, so I don't know who.
I just assumed Elena was president.
Yeah.
of a bad girls club. I just kind of made that assumption.
Lucita is the silent president.
She is the baddest girl.
True.
Lucita is not currently present, so
It's an absentee president.
When last we saw our intrepid coterie over here to my right, which is your left, I don't even know anymore, stage whatever, they were kind of fucking up the plans of the Venture Primogen. Forgetting the fact that the Venture Primogen is now one of them, they kind of, took care of a few things, and some plans were made, some deals were made, some deals were broken, and they basically just kind of, there was a splitting of the party, and the two of the girls, actually all three of the girls, got in trouble. Sort of. There's problems. Charlotte retreated to her smaller office and got some refreshments, one of which is going to be kind of carted out of there in a, not alive bag. Let's put it that way. And Elena and Cassandra decided to go and have a night on the town, of which the following evening there's going to be a news report that comes across about new gangs have popped up in the city of Vancouver. There may have been an actual gang kind of dispute in the Granville area. A popular venue that used to look like a pirate ship has actually burned completely and utterly to the ground. There was also a fire in Park Casino. Police are looking for any leads as to who could possibly have been a witness to these particular events. Call Crime Stoppers, yada, 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 number, blah, blah, blah. So, it being a new night, I'm going to get everybody to do a rouse check. Thumbs up.
I succeeded.
I stay at 0 hunger.
Through gritted teeth.
Charlotte's feeling better.
Thumbs up for Elena. Charlie, how you doing? Oh, for fuck's sakes, everybody won. This is not cool. You're giving me even less to do as a storyteller. I was looking forward to rolling some dice. So, what is everybody up to? Charlotte, are you still in the office at Charlotte Industries? Did you crash on the very mini couch that you have in there?
Yeah, but the couch is flipped over. There's probably not any good place to sleep. But she slept there.
Sandra would have kind of predicted this particular turn of events, that if you didn't feel like sleeping on your kind of pull out from the wall couch, she had an actual section of the floor that the main Charlotte Industries stuff is on to be dedicated to kind of your backup crash space.
Sandra does care. That makes one.
So it's like kind of a utility closet size thing to, keep you comfortable in such an area. But it's got like the kind of pull out from the wall couch or bed that you just pull out that was shelving, but you pull it down and it's a bed.
All of that is very nice, Sandra, but she's just going to sleep in the corner or like propped up. Probably the same way Charlie is sleeping on the door. Angrily though, instead of worriedly.
Harley, I believe you are going to be going to Charlotte Industries first.
Right.
In this kind of plan of non-plans that we have.
Right. Well, so Harley, Sandra helped Harley out of the lobby. Thank you all very much. and got him situated back in his room. He was going through his emails and found one that Charlotte had sent at some point in time in the past. Harley isn't really paying attention to the timestamp on it, other than he needed to, at his convenience, go up and talk to his boss. So the next night, he's gonna get up, put on his hoodie, just kind of take stock of everything. He's going through his phone and seeing the news alerts and just going, oh no. God damn it. And he's gonna go up to Charlotte's office, and he's probably gonna run into I don't know if the body is just now getting carted out of the office, or if that got done during the daytime.
It probably would be just happening now, because everybody knows that the best cleaners only work at night in the world of darkness.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So you'd see like two workmen from Happy Fun Times Cleaning and Waste Disposal, kind of carting out a body.
Shit. I go and is the office door still open, or did they close it behind them?
They would have closed it behind them.
Right. Ma'am?
Man.
I open the door, and I'm not taking my eyes off of the workmen, and I go inside, and
when the door opens, the second intern that was sent in there scurries out and like limps away.
Oh shit. And I go into the room and survey the damage.
Yeah, it's pretty damaged. There's not really anywhere to sit or stand. Charlotte's kind of just in the corner of the room sitting. Hello, Harley.
Hello, ma'am. I'm gonna lead with I fixed.
Good news, I hope.
I fixed the what was her name again? Storyteller Wong? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Vivian Wong, I believe.
Okay.
Genevieve Wong.
Genevieve Wong. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry.
The thing with Ms. Wong, I got that straightened out. I got it sorted.
What did you?
Yes, everything is. I got a little occupied last night, and then I saw that you were do not disturb, so I just thought I would let you know right now that I've got everything with that taken care of. The deal is still on. Everything is still good.
Then I suppose I should thank you for being the only member of this company that does their job.
I'm trying. I don't necessarily think thanks are in order. We need to get this done. And
No, I think thanks are in order. I feel like I've taken good workers for granted.
Well, thank you. I did see that you sent me an email earlier. You wanted to talk to me.
Yes. I'm thinking a bit clearly now, and on the note of thanking people for their work and rewarding people for doing good work, I think that we expand your job.
Okay.
You've
in
been
what regard?
interested in. I've noticed the collection of things that you have going on your floor.
Oh, you found the R&D department, did you?
Right. I suppose you need that out of your living space, right?
Well, see, it's some of it's in my living space. The rest of it's kind of scattered about the building. I don't. I don't even think you know what exactly is going on, ma'am. If you pardon the, I think I've done my job a little too well, maybe.
Well, if you're unorganized, then that makes you a poor worker. So I'm going to help you organize.
Okay. All right. What do you have
The
in mind?
basement that you monkeys with hammers have basically torn to shreds, that's yours to do with what you want.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just don't mess it up anymore. I think it's the foundations of the building.
Oh, that's so the kind of research that I've been doing isn't necessarily the explodey kind. At least not yet. We're getting there. Maybe I'll let you know if the research moves in that direction. But I want to say thanks that this is the opportunity for me to add my to add to my employment value, I think is the term, or my oh, what's the new buzzword they're using? Something about like external worth or something. Hold on. And Harley's actually going to rummage around in the pocket of his hoodie. And he's got a little small chunk of, it looks like iron ore. It's like a large magnet. If you want this, ma'am, this is actually we'll say phase 1 of my research completed. This is stuff I've been picking up from Abigail.
And what does it do?
This is gonna let me keep, well, not an eye on whoever holds this, but it's gonna let me know like where they're at, what direction they're in, like how far away they are. So I mean, if you wouldn't mind taking this, I honestly think this wouldn't be a bad idea as far as security purposes go. Things are gonna start getting heavy.
That's a wonderful idea.
If you wanted this, if something ever happened to you, I'd be able to track you down.
Then I'll accept it. And I suggest that you make one for the rest of the coterie, since they have a tendency to storm off and go and get themselves into trouble.
I'm not that good yet.
One at a time then.
I can do two.
I don't know who I'd send that second one to.
I've got an idea. That I personally think if we're talking high risk, I think Elena would probably be the most logical choice.
I was being sarcastic.
I'm not. Ma'am, I don't talk about my personal life with you all that much. It's super fucking uncomfortable, I think, for the both of us. But
But you're going to anyway.
Just you know her and I go back a long time, and you see a bad employee. I see a friend who's in a lot of trouble, like internally. She's not in good shape, and if someone doesn't step in and try to help, and this isn't gonna end well.
So what you're saying is that I should expand your job even further then?
What do you mean?
As the only person who gets things done, it would be beneficial for you to be the one who cuts out the cancer.
I'll do what I can to salvage what we've got going on.
Wonderful. Anything else?
Do you still want me to be digging in on Connor, or do you think you've got a handle on that situation enough?
I'm fairly confident in my control on the situation. I don't think he'll be an issue for us any longer.
About that. If you have you checked the news at all tonight?
I haven't had the pleasure.
Tell you what, I'm gonna start setting up my place downstairs. You go ahead and check the news, and you just call me if you need anything.
And I assume the news is going to put me in a better mood.
That this is going to be a long night, and if actually one last thing, that we'll say disposed of asset out in the hallway, is that does anyone have a use for that?
I don't.
I might.
Then consider it another gift I've bestowed upon you tonight.
Alright, I'm gonna need a freezer. If you could have one shipped down. That's one thing I don't. I need a deep freeze.
Inform Sandra. She'll have it done.
Understood, ma'am. Just we're in a very precarious spot, ma'am, and
We are, which is why I find it so puzzling that everybody decides that they want to act up now.
we're getting towards the end of the plan, and I think everyone's starting to feel the pressure that we're getting really close to taking that last big step.
Hopefully we didn't stumble before we could.
You might want to call Rico. And I turn and I leave the office. Harley is gonna stop the movers, and the cleaners, and they're the bag's going downstairs into the basement.
Okay. What is Charlie up to?
Charlie fell into day sleep in Elena's room, waiting for them to get back, and they didn't. So he woke up. He forgot to clean off all the numbers and stuff. So he doesn't wake up pre-sunset like normal, because he tried to stay up later, and it just didn't work out. So he just wakes up, then he starts checking his phone, just no messages. Starts doing his normal routine of things, and then just sees the news articles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh? Just check around. They're obvious. Elena's obviously not back here yet.
That is correct.
Sort of stumble his way downstairs to Charlotte's office. He walks through to Harley's area, and he's not there. He's okay, and just goes down.
Yeah.
Down to Charlotte's office.
You would kind of see the tail end of that, soon after Harley told the body movers to just take it down to the basement.
Okay, so I'm walking past people with a body bag.
Yeah.
Somewhere else. Huh.
Hi.
Hi. What's that?
That is it's a deprecated corporate asset. It helps with when you think of him like that.
Okay. Have you seen this? And I'll hold the phone like way too close to his face, like kind of like a little shaky.
Yeah, and Harley recognizes the articles. He doesn't even have to he sees like the first headline and we got a problem.
I mean, they don't know who it was, so it's like we know who it was, but they don't know who it was. So it's...
Yeah, well, if we know who it was, that means other kindred are also gonna know who it was, and they went to the fucking casino, and you and I both know there's cameras all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, but one of them can't be seen on camera.
Yeah, but what is that going to look like when they're in the same shot?
It's gonna look like fuzzy block and then blurry over the person next to them, but it's all fuzzies.
And
Probably can't take pictures.
And what happens when the police start publishing that information looking for clues?
It's gonna look like they published photos that went through the washing machine. That's why Lana and I don't have any photos. You can't really capture the thing. Kind of bleeds over.
Right, but this would have been digital, not analog, and so it's
the same thing. It still does it. It actually does it worse.
I know I've got a lot of work to do.
You okay?
I have a expanding job portfolio. Look, the basement for now is going to be off limits.
Okay.
I've got a project down there, and yeah, just cart him down to just dump him out of the elevator when you in front of the door down there.
Oh, all right, sure.
Are you feeling better?
For now.
Okay.
So just know that Charlotte's our boss is very pissed. And I have a lot of work that I need to do, the least of which is the basement. I've got to talk to fucking Rico. And I turn and I leave. And Harley is on a mission.
Okay. I'll just walk to Charlotte's office, looking back at my phone again, scrolling through the articles. I just walk straight into Charlotte's office because I'm still looking at the phone, just push the door all the way open.
Right.
Hello, Charlie.
Hi.
You look horrible.
Thank you.
And how can I help you today?
Harley knows. I figured you know about the news stuff.
I still haven't looked. I heard that it would put me in a bad mood.
Oh, I mean, maybe. I don't know. It depends.
I think a lot of things will put me in a worse mood right now.
Mm.
But enough about me. How are you doing today? I assume you slept in the hall?
No, I slept in Elena's room.
And she didn't come back.
No. No, she
I'm
didn't.
starting to understand what the news stories might be.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's not probably, like, you're probably thinking like the worst case scenario, and it's like 2 or 3 steps back from the worst case scenario. Say murder, manslaughter, arson. It's like 4 steps back from the worst case scenario. So 5 steps back from the worst case scenario.
Well, then it can't be that bad then.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not. Again, it's not. There's more.
I still think I'm not going to look.
Okay. Did you kill a guy?
Yes.
Okay. Harley said a lot of really big corporate sounding words, and I figured you just killed somebody.
Oh, what did he say? That I fired him?
No, depreciated asset or something like that.
Oh, that's a good one. If you have a conscience.
What?
I can see how that helps you rationalize.
I mean, that's him.
Him? No, yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's all right.
Why?
I needed to clear my head.
So you cleared out someone's arteries and veins to clear your head?
A depreciated asset.
It's not a good look.
Sure isn't, but I assume you give this lecture to your girlfriend every time she does it?
Some variation of it.
As long as you're treating us both equally.
Just tell you the same thing I told her, which is you can choose how to act and choose how much you want to roll into all of this. It's not, oh, I'm a killing monster and I have to eat people. We're grown past that at this point.
Do I get to choose, though?
Yeah.
Because up until yesterday, everything was going pretty good
Was it?
for me. I guess when I employ monsters, then it makes me a little bit more monstrous.
I mean, we were several weeks behind. We didn't have a schedule. We were several weeks behind any kind of schedule on this whole turnaround thing of what we were trying to do. And I mean, I understand you didn't really want to do the Primogen chip thing, but still had to actually take a step forward. But we wound up several different detours, including
And that's the thing. I
surgery.
didn't want to do it, and I'm actually quite miserable doing it. But for some reason, every step of the way, the members of my coterie, the ones that we continue to call each other family and our best support system, seem to have a problem with what I do every step of the way, not trusting me to do what I do in my realm. So that's why I had to clear my head.
Yeah, I'm guessing the whole like we talk it all out thing hasn't really been going so great, right?
No.
Yeah, which is probably said last time to Cassandra too.
I assume they're they're coming at me with this hostility because of whatever's going on with Harley, right?
Maybe. I don't actually know.
It just seems like whenever something with problems of the mind come up, all of a sudden nobody trusts Charlotte, who's never acted against anybody's better interests. But
You've been the one that has most openly performed these actions, so it would make sense that people would immediately attach that to you. People get that. It's
it
like
would make sense, but I have contracts for all of those, don't I?
which is kind of weird in its own right. But I mean, it's at least, I know that I've worked with you enough. I know that you actually follow contracts to the letter, which is why I had that one lawyer on retainer for a while. But
It's so strange because I feel like being struck with sudden crippling pain is so not my style. I thought my coterie of all people would know that if I did have some sort of submerged directive, I would just kill him.
Does he think that's you?
I don't know. Harley's working diligently.
Because no, it's not you.
I know it's not me.
I
would have that filed.
No, I even told them that, like, there's a million things this could be, and I think it has to do with this Valdery thing, because he has not gone back to them, and you know how when you don't keep the thing getting fed, you get the withdrawal thing.
That's a fair point. So you don't think it's me. Harley doesn't think it's me because he's still working there. He's still working well. Cassandra's problem with me is probably more to do with the fact that I'm seeing her sire.
Connor, yeah.
Once again, not trusting me enough to handle the problem.
I mean, it sounds like you had both hands on it, but it's still, kind of its own issue.
Yeah, we all have issues.
Yeah.
But Elena, she's a bit more boisterous and bumbling around. I think she thinks it's me.
Well,
Have you discussed anything like that, maybe in pillow talk?
Not really. But it makes sense considering that everybody seems to openly know about you taking control of Harley's mind and how expertly you can take control of people's minds, and then suddenly there is something that seems to be acting against Harley mentally out of nowhere. It's not like it's easy enough to explain it away. Obviously, you do contracts, you have paper trail for that, but it's not a far jump without.
But how would hurting Harley benefit me? What were the situations in which he was struck with crippling pain? I wasn't there.
I only saw the one, and I didn't even see it. I got called back in afterwards. Apparently, he was leaving to go do something, and then he fell over.
Was he talking to anybody in particular?
He and Elena were talking, and then he was leaving. He fell into the whole thing. Elena screamed for me. I came back, and the two of them both said that he was going to go do something.
And maybe Elena has something to do with it.
Why would he vouch for her if that's the case?
Maybe he doesn't know. You know better than anybody that there's holes in his memory.
Yeah, I know, because you put them there to dominate.
I'm just theorizing while I have a clear head. I don't know how long this lack of hunger will last.
It's understandable. My point more is that while talking it out hasn't really worked out so well, this is probably one of those situations where somebody is making an assumption and you have the thing to go, no, here's the proof that it's not that, or here's my alibi, and then it resolves that conflict. And instead you're kicking the shit out of an intern and they're off doing whatever.
Well, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and the reaction to two of my business dealings being completely blown up and thus making my job as Primogen harder was me kicking the crap out of that intern.
What two?
Well, there was the one that we saw because your girlfriend had to trip somebody on the way out, which apparently Harley has handled. And then there was the second one that didn't get to me.
Oh.
Something about not being allowed to wear red.
I mean, I could see how that could have potentially been an issue if Cassandra showed up and saw somebody else wearing red. Sounds like it's a preventative measure.
So you think Cassandra threatened this person and told her to leave?
No, I think that she was told to leave and go change so that Cassandra wouldn't get offended, and then she didn't come back.
So Elena's the problem again.
Is it a problem if it's preventing an actual in-person problem from happening?
I'm just trying to figure out why the job in which we were all meant to play this game everybody decides they don't want to play the game anymore when I'm playing the game.
I mean, let's be entirely honest. I feel like I'm the only person who's actually wanted to play this game since I suggested it. But that's neither here nor there.
So how do we stop playing the game, Charlie? How do we finish this chapter so we can move on? Because clearly being stuck in this limbo is making everybody crazy.
We do the thing that we've been talking about from the start, which is we unseat Hazoon. Considering that we are half of the Primogen Council, and we have the other half of the Primogen Council on board with this, one of which is the sheriff. We also have a prominent Anarch Baron on board, and 2 Sabbat elders on board, not to mention whatever the fuck Connor is on board. We have a lot of people on board, and we keep getting people on board. As tenuous as some of these connections are, they're still on board for at least the step that we're supposed to do. Whatever happens afterwards, I have no idea. Maybe it all burns down anyway, but we have to actually take our assets and leverage them, to put it in your terms.
So I've put a lot on Harley's plate.
Yeah, it's like that.
You'd like for this to be your job and you want to be a good employee, then move forward.
No, I don't want this to be my job, and I don't want to be a good employee. I actually don't want any of this. I want us to do the thing that we all agreed we were going to do as a group from the start. The reason why I wound up being the Malkavian Primogen in the first place and got stabbed in the fucking shoulder, and then wound up coordinating all of this.
Yes, we want to unseat Hazoon, right?
The job we're supposed to do.
That's the job. We want to unseat Hazoon.
Because the alternative was either keep dicking around like we've been doing up until this point, or do stupid anarch things like try to blow up Elysium again. Because that was apparently on the table when we started talking about this, when I tried to spear it into this.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, let's do what we intended to do. I'm not here to stop you. Whatever plan you can come up with, allow me to throw my resources at it so we can be done.
Great. Then I think that we should actually do this Armistice Day thing that we're talking about, because then we can get everybody there. And at that point, we can either accuse Hazoon in front of all of the people that are aligned with us, or if he doesn't show up, then we can declare praxis at that point, because he won't be there, and we can actually demonstrate the absentee prince who hasn't done anything for this city.
All right, let's do it.
Then we can actually maybe be done with this.
Ding! That's when the elevator arrives to this floor.
It is. Who comes stumbling out of the elevator?
I figure both of us.
Probably at the same time, yeah.
Yeah. Both looking just a scooch worse for wear.
I guess you come down like right in the middle of Charlie, just expressively like hands exasperation.
So, what occurs?
I assume that Elena and Cassandra are they're having somewhat of a good time, ish. But probably, like, I know that Elena, as soon as she sees Charlie, if she has a smile on her face, it's going to just melt.
The elevator's outside of the office, right?
Yeah. The valet, who's usually bored out of their friggin' mind downstairs, would have taken care of the stolen convertible that you guys.
Charlotte probably sees them before
Absconded
Charlie
with.
does, because Charlie is like just talking to Charlotte, which means the door is behind him.
Great.
What?
Morning.
Or night.
One of the two. I assume there was some kind of meeting you were supposed to come to.
We
There
missed the
wasn't.
meeting.
Oh yeah.
I don't suppose that even if there was a meeting, we would have been invited.
There was no meeting, so I guess we'll never know.
You're wearing and you're.
Mm.
Things got a little crazy last night.
No, yeah, I saw the news articles. But,
Oh, that was fast.
yeah, they like to report fires. Kind of fast.
Oh, it was fires.
Yeah, like I said, like at least 5 steps back from what you were thinking.
That wasn't my
It
guess.
wasn't a lot of fires, just a few.
2 big ones.
Not even that big.
Only one building suffered completely.
Yeah.
A few limos. A parking garage.
Did you trade clothes?
I stayed at Cassandra, and
And I liked this last night, and so Elena got it for me.
I'm glad you're being good influences on each other.
I think that Cassandra and I have come to. We've sorted out whatever it was that was an issue, and we've come to an agreement, or more or less.
Like, we understand each other a little better.
Right, that's better. An understanding. Not really an agreement, we just understand.
Great.
I love that for you.
Do you want to keep up the coming to an understanding train? Point back to Charlotte.
No, I'm good. She's going to stand up and she's going to just kind of push the file of all of her contracts on Elena's chest, and she's going to walk out.
What is this for?
You got homework.
No, I
Uh,
don't.
No, this was supposed to be the part where she tells you both that she has a paper trail of any agreements that she has, which means and includes whatever has been done to Harley. Therefore, if you think that she did the thing that Harley is currently dealing with, she doesn't, because she has full documentation of everything.
I
there.
never said that.
She seems to think that that's the thought.
What
I
do you
said-
think, Cassandra?
I thought it was the Valdery thing, but still.
I just think the whole thing seems sketchy. It seems like convenient timing, and we know she has these contracts.
Yeah, that's her point, is that she has all of these contracts and none of them are the whole fetal position on the ground thing.
I mean, I don't know whether it even if I'm not saying that she is responsible for it, but even if she was responsible for it, she could just hide the file or contract, or just not have one.
No, I've worked with Charlotte for about 25 years on and off at this point. It's almost obsessive for her.
Well then, I tell you what, Charlie. And she's gonna take the files and push them into his chest. You dig through them and tell me what you find, okay? I'm hungry.
I'll drop them on the tables. No, because I already believe it.
Okay then. It doesn't really matter.
That particular table is actually flipped over and broken. So.
Yeah, I drop it in what's like the underbelly of the table, just pop.
On the rack.
Careful. She's going to be upset that you dropped her files and now they're all mixed up.
Very important files.
So important.
So, no, yeah, there wasn't a meeting. I was just talking with Charlotte about how we are not at all doing the whole thing that we're supposed to be doing to actually be done with this.
That's funny because I just said the same thing to Cassandra last night.
Oh, yeah?
I did.
No.
It's part of the understanding that we came to.
Okay. Is there room for more understanding?
I feel like the whole thing's just going on for like a really long time.
I
It
feel
is.
like Charlotte has let it go straight to her head.
I mean, she got stained glass windows showing her coronating us into the coterie. You saw those, right?
No, I did. They were really tacky, but it was also very much in line with, I'm a power tripping Ventru that is now in this position of power, thus I'm going to take it very seriously. So, also a very good cover story. I wouldn't believe that's somebody that's actually going to, get rid of the one thing that is her position of power.
I think that she very much so enjoys that position of power.
No, she was actually dragging her feet the entire way to do it. At least 3 separate times she mentioned stalling.
Oh, do you see, Cassandra? That's why it's taken so long.
Right?
Well, there was also the detour when we had to, we had to sort out the whole cosmetic surgery thing.
What
It was like
cosmetic
one
surgery thing? We did,
day.
it wasn't even an entire night. It was just an hour or two.
Oh my
Yeah, and then
God, I've
and then it
gotten
put us out
coffee
for-
that takes longer than that.
Yeah, and then it put us out of our actual trajectory for about a week.
No, the reaction that it got is what that put us out of our trajectory.
Yeah.
The fact that you got pissed off because we did a thing that you weren't okay with, that is what put us off on the trajectory.
Yes, I got pissed off that you went and put yourself under the knife from a Sabbat elder. The same way that I'm sure that you were just, pleased to punch that Harley went and got a Valdery with them.
The difference is
Just tickle your
I
jollies.
decided to do that. I decided to do that. Harley did not decide to do that. We've already come to this understanding.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah, that's like the point.
Willingness on my part and Cassandra's part. Not willingness on Harley's part.
Yes, willing endangerment of yourself is
It's myself.
much better.
I did something to try to make sure that I did not end up in, torpor or dead or whatever else.
Yeah, well, we already had the talk about how there's also the notion of relying on your friends and whatnot. But
None of us are entirely good at that.
Yeah, that's
That's all.
become pretty clear.
seems to be.
Okay, so like, what's the plan now? Everyone's got a fancy title. Everyone's got
Except
a fancy
for me.
office.
You're-
I don't have
You have
any of that
Primogen.
anymore. I have Primogen, but I'm not.
That's the fancy title that she's talking about.
Yeah,
Mm,
everyone gets a fancy title. We'll get nameplates or cards or I don't know.
no, I don't want that.
Ugh, some fucking thing.
You have to actually pretend to want it if we're gonna do the plan. The The
Mm.
plan is
Technically, at this point, I don't even think I have to pretend. I'm literally probably the only person left to do it for my clan.
yep. Well, there's you, and there's Merrick.
And he very much so did not want it. So. Not like I have to do a whole lot to keep it.
The plan is to do this whole Armistice Day thing that everybody thought was a fun get together, and then we can actually accuse Hazoon of what he did in front of the entire Primogen Council that is on our side, a major Anarch Baron who's on our side, 2 Sabbat Elders who are on our side, one of the Primogen being the Sheriff who's on our side, and level the whole thing against him. And if he's not there at all, then we declare the absentee prince and claim Praxis.
Cassandra,
Yes.
do you want to plan a party?
Yes.
Oh, that's never a good sign when the Toreador doesn't want to plan a party.
Well, you know it's not gonna be a successful party. You know it's gonna be first there's a party, and then someone shows up with majesty, and then there's death.
That
Like,
is
you
called
know
your
that's how it's gonna
sire is what's
happen.
going to show up with the majesty. Your
That's what I'm
sire and
talking
Charlotte.
about.
Your
Well, we'll
sire
just
with
set his
Charlotte
building on
on
fire. Yeah, I'll plan your party. Oh my god, what a fucking mess.
Maybe I should help you plan.
Yeah, you got taste. Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. Can you just
I-
imagine?
Yeah. The
We have to have a-
armistice, right? So like Christmas themed?
Lots
That's like
of-
Christmas.
No, it should be like Dia de los Muertos. Lots
like
of
that.
skulls and
Yeah.
I prefer
that
not so
shit's
much color,
cool.
but lots of skulls and things like, dark.
Yeah. I can
Really
get into
embrace
that.
this new look you've got going, Cassandra. I kind of like it. You should stick with it.
Yeah, this is working for me. So when?
I don't
I
care.
need a date.
I don't care.
Oh, if we do it soon, like maybe tomorrow, then we can be done with this whole entire fucking charade.
Should we rent Succubus for it again? That went good.
That would be perfect. We didn't catch that one on fire, did we?
No,
Shit,
you
did
wanted
we?
to, but you didn't.
Good, we did not do that. I would say that the pirate club is open, but it's really not.
But
Nope.
it's not. All right, okay. You go talk to Charlotte and Harley and whoever the fuck else has a calendar. You tell us the date. We'll make a party. Yeah.
No. No.
You're not okay. So the part of this that you're supposed to, you wanted to do the thing. So
No,
you
I
have
didn't.
to
You
work
know
with
what? You know
us
what? No,
to-
no. Actually, I didn't. I didn't want to do the fucking thing. I really didn't. But we were kind of at the point where Harley was trying to throw fire bottles into everything as usual, and nobody really knew what to do. And so I presented an option that would mean that we didn't keep doing the same bullshit dance that we were doing, and everybody was on board. And then nobody actually wanted to do it. And then, I had to be the Primogen after decades of not having to do a responsibility thing like this. And then I had to come up with the idea, and then I had to convince everybody to want to do their part of the idea, because none of us wanted to be Primogen. I didn't want to be Primogen, but I was the first one to do it. Thanks for that. And then I had to convince
You're
each
welcome.
individual person along the way to do it. I had to convince Charlotte multiple times to do it. And then I had to keep it on track as everybody continued to do something that kept trying to tip the car on its side the whole way.
Okay. So like, question then, why are we doing it? Like
Because
the
it-
whole point, we take the city and then we're all in charge of our clans, kind of just sort of like if we were Primogen anyway.
except we have to actually, be acting like we're in the Camarilla if we don't change it.
Why? I mean, we seem to have been doing whatever the hell we want pretty successfully for the past several months.
That's fair.
Have any of you actually checked in with anybody in your clan? Like, apart from you, Elena, because there's only 2 people. Well, now there's 1. And
There's only one that's available in my clan, and I intend on going to talk to him because I think that he might be the only other person that could really do anything
like,
as far as, what I was trying to get Maximilian to help me with. I don't think that he's going to be capable of doing that anymore.
no, because he's dead. So that puts a damper on things. Harley, I'm pretty sure, is checked in with Nosferatu, but probably just to tell them to do things or ask them for assignments. So nothing's actually changed there. I'm probably the only person that actually is checked in with my clan on a regular basis, and I don't even want to. Do
Why
you?
are you assuming we want to? I didn't want this. I didn't ask to be Primogen. I just wanted to have a big party.
Okay, so to be
Well,
fair,
we're-
technically, the armistice was sort of my idea, but
Mhm.
not in the sense that this is going this way. I said armistice. Somebody else said become Primogen, and that was not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to
Armistice
be.
was after Primogen.
But there was no
I
reason
just-
to be really Primogen. That was just a piece
It
of
just
the
seemed
thing
like
that.
the easiest way to do it. And it wasn't easy at all in the end. But we've all just been on the Charlie train the whole time. And okay, so we take the prince out and then we're all still in charge of stuff. Isn't the point here to not be in charge of stuff?
The point here is that we are, all of us, tired of the situation of the city, and everybody had all of these anarchy ideas pouncing around, and so I came up with something that didn't immediately involve everybody dying.
We like that
And
part.
what's interesting about that, though, is a few of you already would have been dead.
Yeah, I know.
Had I not done things that I needed to do to make sure that that didn't happen. And yet still, because of that, now I'm the bad guy. I'm the
I don't think
villain.
you're the bad guy.
Oh, thank you, darling. That is very kind of you. I
Aw.
appreciate that.
Aw.
This is part of why we haven't gotten anything done.
We're not doers in this way, I think is becoming very clear. We do stuff,
No, we're
but
children.
not plans.
We're children. We're
Well-
all fucking children.
Yeah. Are you new here?
I wish I was sometimes, Cassandra.
Look, all right, fine. We'll pick a day and we will plan the party.
Great, because Harley is doing some secret.
Harley's always doing
project
stupid
with
secret
Mason.
shit. That's what got him into the problem that he's got right now in the first place.
Yeah, surprise, we have secrets and it gets us into issues.
Yeah, well, things were a lot better when we didn't have all of this to deal with. When it was just Harley and I, we never had secrets like that. When it was just Harley and I, we didn't get ourselves into situations that would potentially get us killed.
Yes, you did.
When it was just the two of us,
Yes, you did.
no,
Because
we
I remember.
didn't.
No, you did. You just had less people that you actually cared about in that instance to keep an eye on. So you didn't have to hold back.
It
The
worked.
difference. That's the part that matters.
At least Harley doesn't question me when I tell him something. He believes me.
You don't even know why I asked, do you?
Honestly, I don't really care why you asked. The fact that you asked Not enough for me.
No, I know you don't care why you ask, because that's the part where we're all children. Is we get our feelings hurt and we immediately react about it. You just care that I asked you for a confirmation that
I'd already told you.
Yeah.
I'd already told you that I didn't do it, and you asked if I was sure that I didn't do it.
Kind of a dickish
If I
question
wasn't
to ask.
sure that I didn't do it, I wouldn't have told you in the first place that I didn't do it.
I didn't ask you if you were sure. I just asked you to say it again.
Why would I need to do that? I already told you.
And I
I
already
told you exactly what happened. Something that I told that I wasn't going to say.
and
I
already-
told Rico
and
that I
already-
wasn't going to tell anybody, and I told you anyway.
And I already believed it. And I asked you because I wanted to prove to you that you can actually care about something, Elena.
Have I not already shown that I care?
Not a whole lot lately, but you were starting to.
Literally everything that I have done has been to ensure that all of you have another night.
It has been, and you do it
Continue.
all, and you do it all behind this mask that, that you don't care, that, it's your way, and you're gonna make sure that everything works properly, and you're gonna do whatever it takes. That La Sombra, we're the actual king approach, but you care, and that's the point I was trying to actually bring out in you. Because I'm tired of you acting like we don't care. We all know that you do.
Congratulations. I hope you're satisfied with your answer. And she's gonna turn and walk away.
Are you gonna go after her?
You know she doesn't want me to.
I mean, you might get hurt if you do, but I think she actually really wants you to. Did you ever watch like Dawson's Creek or Grey's Anatomy or As the World Turns or literally any show that has a relationship in it?
I watched I Love Lucy and Bewitched.
Okay, Bewitched is a fine example, I suppose. If she had walked away, do you think the husband's name here would have gone after her? The answer is yes. The answer you're looking for is yes.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
I think that's the problem, is none of us know what we're doing here. We jumped into a plan that we only kind of sort of knew what we wanted the outcome to be.
I meant this. I don't know what I'm doing here with her and me. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know how to do this.
Well, then take advice from someone who's clearly a relationship expert and go after her. Apologize, even if you don't mean it, but you should mean it. And then give her some time to chill. She had a good time last night. She'll be okay.
I don't like the direction that she's been going ever since the thing with the werewolves and all the fighting at Pentex.
None of us do. But the fastest way to make sure she keeps on that way is to just abandon her to it. It's to keep accusing her of stuff and acting like she's doing horrible things to us. Even if she is. What she needs is support and love.
I have said and tried so many times to emphasize that you're not. You choose. You choose. You don't have to be the dark thing. You choose. You
And
choose
sometimes
to
we
be
choose wrong.
person.
And once you're in a spiral, it's real hard to get back out of it. But if you can't deal with her, then you shouldn't be putting yourself through it. And the simple fact of the matter is, if you can't handle her at her worst, you don't deserve her at her best.
Did you make that up? That's good.
I totally did. Like right now.
That's good. I just want her to come back.
It's gonna take work.
Just want to keep her safe.
That's gonna take even more work.
Doing so much to keep her safe and stop her from getting into things that hurt her, and stop people from putting her into positions that'll hurt her.
Well then, my
Trying to keep
dear,
everybody
you
here safe.
probably shouldn't date a vampire. This is her life, and if you're gonna be part of it, then you have to be part of it her way. And that doesn't mean you can't help her be a better person. You still gotta do it her way.
How can I help her be a better person when she doesn't want to be? I keep trying and keep trying to show, and she keeps wanting to do all the dangerous stuff and the hurting stuff.
We've put her in a lot of rough situations. And yeah, she's made some shitty decisions along the way. But telling her she's doing it wrong is the fastest way to make sure she does it even worse. She's not the kind of girl who wants, tough love. I assume. That's different.
Do you really get people? I don't get people like that. You really get people.
People are easy.
I've always liked that about you.
And I like how simple you are.
I didn't want to do any of this, but the other option was that just go somewhere else again. Back to Alberta again. I've been there like 5 times already. Or Toronto, or
Okay, so let me put a little hypothetical to you. We win. Yay! Banners, sparklers, there's fireworks. It's phenomenal. We're all in charge of our clans. We're all doing our job exactly how we're supposed to be. It's going fantastic. And then 6 months from now, someone shows up to try to fuck it up. And then a year after that. And then 4 years after that. And then 5 years after. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever stops. We're fighting for it now, and if we win, we're going to be fighting for it this time next year and this time the year after that. You have to ask yourself is, why do you want this?
the point was to get everybody to work together and rely on each other so they didn't have to rely on us eventually.
Okay,
But-
well, at the risk of sounding condescending, have you ever met a kindred before?
I'm perpetually learning just how much everybody craves structure.
People
Should've-
like status
I should've
quo
seen
for a
that coming.
reason. Go tell your girlfriend you're sorry.
Go talk to Charlotte about whatever this thing is that you think she's doing. Sort this out.
Okay, tell me really honestly. Do you think she's hurting Harley
No,
with this dominate thing?
no,
I didn't say do you think she means to hurt Harley.
I don't think she is.
Okay, I believe you.
I think that she is doing exactly what she presented and what is in the contract, because that is her way of doing things. Whatever this thing is, I do not think that it is Charlotte.
Okay.
You go do that, and I'll try this.
I think the other thing you got to keep in mind with Elena is her and Harley have been BFFs for like, I don't know, like a really long time. And now all of a sudden she can't trust him. She can't talk to him. She has no idea if at any second he's gonna like, I don't know, Sabat rage out and do something stupid. Stupider than he did pre-Sabating. She's lost her best friend in like the whole world. In the middle of this.
I don't know how close you were to everything, but did you hear what Harley said to Elena when she was riding the werewolf high?
Which part?
When I was trying to have her hang back to not, because she was out of her senses, and then Harley wanted her to go up front with him, like old times, because that's their BFF history. It's the same level of putting each other in danger and harm's way. The thing that she supposedly wants to protect all of us from, and is so upset about Harley potentially being in harm's way, they put each other in that again and again and again for as long as I've known the both of them.
So they've got a toxic situation. I mean, welcome to the club. No one here has a happy, healthy My Little Pony relationship going on.
I'm doing everything I can to help everybody understand that you don't have to do the throw yourself into danger thing, the violent thing. I'm doing so much to just instill that, and it's not working.
Says the guy who wants to hop into the abyss to haul out a staked prince that we don't know is gonna like us so that we can throw it in the face of the person we're most afraid of.
I'm not gonna wake her up.
So we're still gonna throw her in the face of the guy we're most afraid of. We're like, hey, fuck you, man. And he's gonna be like, oh man, my bad, and leave.
Well, the point is that we have a literal army of the highest ranking kindred in the city and people that are of his age, most likely, or older, all unified against him. So it's a force. It's praxis.
And like, no one's ever lied to you before?
People
Like,
lie
it's
to me all
one
the
thing
time.
to tell us, like, yay, I'm totes on board with this, but when Hazoon, the actual prince, who's also, like, a powerhouse, is like, no, y'all aren't, and they're like, oh shit, you're right, we're totally not, we're on your side again. Forget these anarchs.
I don't think that the two elder Sabat members and the Anarch Baron will defect.
No, probably not them.
I don't think that.
But we've already seen that the two Sabat members don't really give a damn about what we want.
They don't, but
Harley.
They don't, but again, having a Camarilla in play kind of makes it hard to do Sabat things. I don't think that Harley's girlfriend, Tamir Lady, is going to defect. That really just leaves, the Bruja, who are hanging on to Camarilla by a thread, on one leather thread, and the Gangrel Sheriff, who just got very upset at the fact that he wound up in the abyss against his will.
All I'm saying is Elena picks her danger and you pick yours. And the difference is you think you've got yours under control.
No, I don't.
You did. And then everything went to this. I'll go talk to Charlotte. I will make friends with Charlotte again. You go talk to Elena, make the kissy faces. Then we'll figure out Harley's deal, and then we have a big Dios de los Muertos themed Christmas party.
That's a weird theme.
It's a horrible thing. I'll workshop it.
Okay.
She has terrible taste.
Oh, the red was nice.
Looks good on her, right?
Yeah.
Go tell her that.
Oh, okay.
Good. Off you go.
Okay.
So as the two kindred part ways, one going to find where Elena was and the other going to try to figure out where Charlotte ended up, it's time to take a break. And for everybody playing the home game, there isn't actually a problem with Storyteller Steve's light. He just keeps turning it off because of all the shade. I have to get the salt out of my eyes somehow. So come back in about 7. Welcome back, everybody. We are trying to see who's where. Basement for Harley. Charlotte has gone somewhere that no one knows where as of yet. And Elena has wandered off. And people are trying to, I guess, pull the coterie back together in one spot. So, let's start with the Charlotte. Where have you gone?
I want everybody to guess.
Fair enough. Cassandra. You're going to find Charlotte, I'm guessing.
Yes. I'm going to find Sandra, assumingly at her desk.
Yes.
Sandra, do you know where your boss is?
Yes.
Can you tell me where she is?
I can.
Will you please tell me where she is?
She went up to the meat floor.
I should have just gone there. I knew that. Thank you. And that's where Cassandra will be heading.
But before that happens, Harley, what you doing?
All right, so Harley has spent the ever since he left Charlotte's office, he's been downstairs in the anger basement. Anyone in the hallway outside would be able to hear, Black Sabbath blaring, very loud volume. There's people coming in and out carrying boxes. There is that deep freeze that Harley requested is getting brought in, and right behind it is the fun bag. But he's in the room, and you can see that there's all sorts of various occult trappings being put up. There's the Theban alphabet on a banner hanging up above an altar. We'll call it non-denominational occult. No particular,
The Spirit Halloween version of Spooky.
right. But he's also, he's taken off his hoodie. He's in work mode. He's trying to coordinate traffic. And also he is on the phone, talking with Sheriff Bo Enrico.
Hold on one sec.
Mm-hmm.
Need to get my shit together. Right, now that I can't see anything.
Ditto.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going tonight?
What do you want?
The news. I'm assuming you've gotten clued in.
I've heard of it.
Anything that I or my boss, Charlotte, needs to be concerned about right now?
Not as far as I know. As far as I know, it was a bunch of fan arts.
Okay.
Shitty ones at that. They didn't really cover the tracks.
Really? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Yeah, so what are we looking at for property damage? Do you have any idea?
It's expensive.
Great. Alright, so that's just something we'll be able to throw at their feet when all this shit shakes out. Awesome. Alright, do you have any leads on who might have done this?
Oh, I know who did it.
Really? Really, you got a name for me?
You already know.
Yeah, I do. Fuck.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be calling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's gonna get handled and taken care of.
Be sure that it does. And that's when the line goes dead. So I got changed for a quick conversation.
Now, Mark, no. Look, that bookshelf needs to go over there along the north wall, and that
Which one's the north wall? Like
it's
we're
that
in-
way. You
we're in
don't
a
know.
basement. Does this matter?
I'm a Nosferatu, and I know what direction is fucking north underground. It's that wall.
Oh, okay, sure.
And okay, now the books go over there, and Harley walks over to the body bag, and he's kind of looking at the deep freeze in the bag.
Point of order. Did you clean up Skip?
Skip.
Because Skip went down in the elevator and the door opened and he just flopped in. And he's been there ever since.
That's
exsanguinated.
Skip's. I have a plan for Skip.
So I'm assuming yes. Skip
yes.
is just elsewhere under a tarp somewhere.
I wouldn't say a tarp. Boxes.
Yeah,
boxes. Sure. Boxes. Plural. And Harley's probably racked up a stain or two over the course of all this.
Yeah, I'd say that.
And he goes and he tries dumping the body bag in the deep freeze, and it doesn't quite fit. End scene.
And we'll get back to those stains later. So Cassandra proceeds up the elevator, and there's the ding. And for everyone who hasn't quite experienced Trevor as of yet, Trevor is a giant meat floor. Trevor is essentially consisting of the entire floor that Cassandra is walking out on.
Hashtag meat room.
Hashtag meat room as a vicissituted giant monstrosity that is various parts of a lot of different things. So the doors open for the elevator, and there's a lattice work of what looks like fingers that are kind of pushing each other apart that you can now walk out of. And when you walk into Trevor, basically there is kind of meat-like things along the walls. There is a spine, from what you can tell, that goes down the middle of the hallway, which actually has ribs that encompass the hall itself, and there's various kind of dripping things here and there into puddles on the floor. Like there's kind of a green substance in one puddle, and there's like kind of a oil-like substance that's kind of dripping down in viscous bits here and there.
Decorating's going well.
And you hear like a
Always nice to see you again, Trevor.
It's almost laughing. It's kind of disturbing.
And do I see Charlotte?
You do not.
Did that bitch lie to me?
And
I will get her fired.
While Cassandra is wondering about that, we can rewind time ever so slightly to Charlotte doing kind of the same thing, going onto the floor that is Trevor. And you see Alexandru, who is a very tall, probably about 7 feet, just very tall, thin character. He's got kind of weird bone ridges that move across his face in various forms, and he seems to be kind of like melding a piece of Trevor. And you hear him say, "Trevor, what have I told you? Laughing ruptures things."
Oh, is he okay?
He will be fine. What can I do for you, Miss Ardane?
Oh, nothing in particular. I just wanted to chat.
Oh,
Yeah, my Nosferatu's broken.
Harley, yes.
And I don't know, I'm so business minded that I only look at things in the way that they might benefit someone else. And I'm just trying to figure out how it would benefit you to hurt the only member of the Sabbat that's been inducted in the city in how long?
Who said we were hurting him?
Exactly, I didn't think so. There seems to be an issue. I'm not exactly sure why or how, but he seems to be suffering from excruciating pain every time he tries to. We don't know yet. But that wouldn't happen to be some sort of Sabbat side effect, would it?
Not that I'm aware.
I didn't think so.
If you want, you could experience it yourself and find out that it is not actually a side effect.
I mean, I'm never one to plunge headfirst into things, but I'm open. Things aren't going particularly well on our side.
That's what I've been hearing.
I know you're not exactly, a therapist or anything, but you are in my building, so figured I could at least use your ears.
The storyteller had considered a bit of body horror at this particular point, like a Robin Hood Men in Tights thing, but no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, go on.
It seems as though that now I'm the Ventru Primogen. Everybody's starting to butt heads to an extent that's now beginning to affect me. Surely a vampire of your age and power has dealt with insubordination before.
Not as much as you would think. See,
so my coterie is just that.
That's the joy of the Valdery. People generally don't be insubordinate when they're under the effects of the Valdery. Now, if you were to bring everybody into the Valdery, there would be less insubordination.
I'm starting to feel like everything would get done more efficiently if I were just doing it myself, and ethically there are concerns there, but I could do something along those lines without plunging my entire coterie into the Sabbat.
What do you have in mind?
I don't know. I'm just trying to process things. I'm not hungry, and I'm just trying to think about how I ended up in this situation.
How you ended up not hungry? One would assume that you did what you should do as an apex predator. You took what you wanted.
No, I know I am not hungry. I'm trying to figure out why I'm in this situation with my coterie. I don't have any particular interest in setting this city free. I've sort of been led to this conclusion by the people beneath me.
Well, if you don't want to set the city free, then you have to control it.
And what would you recommend?
I've already said what I would recommend.
Right, everybody joins Sabbat, which this is all news. I didn't know that you were into expansion.
We're always into expansion. We're trying a bit different way of expanding now. At least Nixon and I are. It's a little less hit somebody in the head with a shovel and bury them type situation.
I see. I could see how that wouldn't be the best way to expand. So what is it then?
We're trying a little bit more of a PR approach, as you would probably say as a venture.
Reasonable. Don't get me wrong, I find the offer enticing. I just
What would
don't
make
know.
it more enticing?
I just don't know what would make it worth turning my entire world upside down.
It wouldn't be upside down. It's more of an expanding of consciousness. For everyone who is in the Baldry with you, there's varying degrees. You would feel more of a connection to them.
I guess the problem is I don't know what I want. If I had a goal, then I'd know that I'm sure this could help me get to it, but I just don't have a goal. Just riding a wave.
I'm assuming part of your goal is to get off said wave.
At this point, the wave's been kind of dangerous, inconvenient, embarrassing.
So, if you want less danger, one would assume that you would appreciate the path of strength in numbers.
But I've gotten so used to not being a subordinate.
Who said anything about subordinate? You would be a member of the pack, sure. However, while there's always a bigger fish, the Sabbat here are somewhat limited. So you would be, let's say, how can I put this in a Ventrue way? Getting in at the ground level.
Well, that sounds good. I think it'd be stupid for me not to consider that.
Right.
And what would the process be?
Well, I would have to get Nixon here and then Harley as well.
Oh, Harley's easy. He comes whenever I want.
I've heard about that too.
Seems like there's more than one person playing around with his brain. Just can't figure out who.
Well, it's not I.
And I'm glad that I can confirm that. I believe you.
So, the Valdery then?
Yeah, sure. This day can't get any worse.
And you see him kind of go and retrieve Nixon. And then a Nosferatu-looking person kind of appears out of nowhere and goes, yeah, all right, cool. And then they run off. So, Charlie and Elena, where did Elena go?
Elena is on her floor, and she is holding the little vial of ashes, and she is humming to herself, kind of rocking back and forth, and the room is just getting darker and then brighter and then darker. It's like a heartbeat almost.
See if I can do this fast enough. Darker and then brighter.
And she's just humming to herself.
And that is where Charlie encounters Elena.
I always like that song.
I know.
It's one of the ones from the festival things that you told me about, right?
It is.
Tried to find that one for the music box and I couldn't.
It's not an easy one to find.
No, I think it's just in your head at this point.
Probably.
I'm not doing really good at all of this. And I keep trying, and I'm not.
I don't know exactly what you're meaning. Like you're not doing good at the coterie thing, the primogen thing, the trying to free the city thing, or you're going to have to be more specific. There's a lot of things going on.
It's all of that, and I'm not doing really good at the helping keep people I care about safe thing, and the helping people understand that they don't have to make the bad monster choice thing, and the being there for you the way that you need thing. It's a whole series of things I'm not really good at. I never really had to do any of them before all of this, and I have to do all of them, and I'm not good at it.
I understand what you're meaning, but I don't completely agree. I think that you're better at it than you think that you are.
Whatever happened to you after the Pentex thing with the werewolf blood and the night in the basement, you came out different. You even after you told me, even after we started this, like something was different, and that's why I tried to say that you have a choice in things, but I'm not doing good at the helping part because you're still different, and I don't know how to help.
I don't know. It's not that simple. It's not a matter of helping do this or helping do that. It is the things that we are doing are very dangerous, and at least one of us needs to be able to do the questionable hard things in order to make sure that the rest of us don't have to go down that road.
But
Cassandra can't do that. She can't, and I would never expect her to. Charlotte goes down that road and she's going to be the evil villain in those comic books that I read about. Harley may have stumbled on that by accident already. And you're really good at being you. You're really good at trying to make sure that I don't fall too far down that hole. But if one of us isn't at least capable of doing those things, then I think that we may not make it through.
I think that we're all capable of doing these things, but you took the burden on yourself so that nobody else had to.
It's easier for me to do that. It's easier for me to be that one.
It's not easy to watch you do it.
I understand that, but if it is myself that is doing that, if I'm the one that is going down that road, I understand your point of view, and I understand why you are concerned about it, and I appreciate it. But when it's all said and done, and whether this succeeds or whether it fails, no matter what, it is easier for someone like me to, for lack of better terms, someone like me to take the fall for all the bad shit that had to happen in order to get us there. It's more believable for someone like me to be that one. It's better for that. There's not so many that are relying on me like there are you or Cassandra or Harley or even Charlotte.
You just named all the people that are relying on you.
They're not like that. They're not.
Of course we are.
It's not. I'm having a really hard time trying to explain this to you. It was easier when I was angry and explaining it to Cassandra. I think she understood it was just easier, and I can't do it to you because you're not easy to. It's not easy for me to try to tell you what. I don't want to upset you. I don't want to hurt you, and I don't want you to.
It's going to hurt if you throw yourself so far into this that we can't pull you out of it. It's going to hurt all of us. And I'm trying, but I'm not doing a good job of it because we keep doing stuff like this instead.
I just want to make sure that all of you can survive to see how it all turns out in the end.
problem is that I want to do that too, so that kind of puts us at odds because it means that each of us wants the other one to make it through.
You are, out of the two of us, you are the one that has a better chance of keeping everyone from making bad decisions. I mean, look at me and Cassandra just one night. It was a lot of fire. And it was mostly because I was really angry at Charlotte. And you. And it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard for her to follow my lead on things. And I led her right down into that. And
That's
you don't do that, though, Charlie. You don't do that. You try to make sure that everyone stays focused on the best parts. Whereas,
how's that working out for me?
I haven't diablerized anyone yet.
There's that, but you just said it yourself. She followed you. I keep wanting to. I want to get all this stuff in order and keep everybody safe, and I do what I can, and I make the moves that I need to, and everybody is still doing all of this other stuff. Meanwhile, Cassandra immediately goes to you when there's a problem, and you have all this, and she followed your lead immediately on this, and Harley and you have this coordination thing, and I think that more than me spinning the hamster wheel of trying to be the one to help everybody see the good thing, I think it's more effective for somebody that people already listen to and follow the lead on to rise to the example.
I'm not the example that is needed, though. Charlie.
But you can be. I know that you can.
And what if I don't want to be that? What if that's not the role that I want to play? What if...
But you do, because you want to make sure that everybody is safe and everybody's taken care of. That's really the only thing that I want to do. You don't have to fill a role to be an example. You just have to do the right thing and people look at it. It's not a position, it's not a title, it's just being. And if you're being in a way that shows people that you care for them, then they'll care. And maybe you won't have to worry about people getting into situations that are going to endanger their lives and their futures because they will care about holding on to the people around them instead of just themselves.
I tried that, though. Already. And it didn't really work. It didn't get us anywhere closer to what we needed to do. The only thing that happened is that we didn't successfully find Bastian. Harley ended up on the Valkyrie, and
that wasn't because of a failure on your part. things went sideways, but that wasn't because you cared and failed at it. It's also a group effort. People actually have to be understanding of each other. That's part of caring. We're not so great at that either, but it's a group effort.
I think that everything that is happening is being done wrong. I don't. It should not have taken as long as it has taken. That was not the plan. And the longer that it has taken, like I told Cassandra, the longer that it has taken, the more we have all fallen into the roles that we didn't want to fall into.
That's why I want to get it done. But we keep winding up in situations where we are angry at each other or doing things behind each other's backs, and then we have to resolve those things, and then we do the next step, and then we repeat the cycle again.
Charlie, what's going to happen when we succeed? When we succeed in doing this, and it is clan for clan, what do you think is going to happen then? There's not going to be, and it's not going to be possible for there to be an us coterie anymore. You're going to be with Malkavians. Cassandra's going to be with Toreadors. Harley's going to go underground. Charlotte's going to go lead the Ventru in her great adventures or riches or whatever, and I'm going to be alone. I don't have any. I have one, and I'm lucky if that one is even still in the city at this point.
If we do it right, like we were saying, then everybody realizes that the clans can help each other, and thus it's clan for clan in terms of taking care of each other, but also everybody works together. And the idea was that there comes a point where we don't have to be primogen. They can just function, and then we don't have to be away. We don't even have to be here. We could go anywhere together.
I didn't even want to be here in the first place. It just sort of happened.
Glad you are.
Do you remember? Do you remember when I mentioned the armistice, the Dia de los Muertos, the celebration in Barcelona, the one that started the entire objective that we have?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the number one reason, or not really the reason, but do you know what it was that brought them all together? The one common denominator?
No, not really.
So one part I didn't really tell all of you about, not in this sense, but it was the part that I was supposed to play before. The sacrificial lamb of the festival, or festival fool that you would call it, I think. The one common asset that everyone could join together and have this big secret against this one thing that they could play this part knowing what the outcome was going to be. That's why they all had their little party and they celebrated together. You can't have that sort of thing without it.
I think you can. You just have to change what the unifying factor is. Change the variable.
And what do you propose the new variable is?
Building something instead of destroying.
This is going to be a very difficult variable to achieve, considering most of us are really good at just destroying things.
Yeah. But if coming together to build something works, then people have a reason to work together with an outcome that they know they'll get. You don't need something that hurts, destroys another person to unify people. You don't need all of this back dealing and magic blood connection stuff to get people to work together. You just need people to actually give a shit. Sometimes that's the harder thing, but
that is what is special about you. There's not many of us that are capable of that, really. Whereas you barely even have to try to do it.
I've been connected to so many people ever since.
That's fair.
I don't really always get people, but I get doing things together. That's who I hear when things get like turmoily, whatnot. I don't hear the scary thing that everybody talks about hearing. It's just more chatter. I think maybe that's why.
I don't know. Maybe. But
All I know is that if you give a shit about something, then you want to do it, and that's the thing that drives you. So you can't force people to give a shit. I've tried a lot. Sometimes it works. Doesn't always work. But once people realize that they actually have a choice in the matter, it becomes a lot easier.
I need to tell you something. And I don't want you to get upset with me. I don't like all of the dominate stuff. I don't like that Charlotte has Harley like that, and I definitely do not like the Valdery, but I also don't like that I don't know what is going on with Harley and the Valdery and what is being planned, and I don't have the same sort of connections that everybody else does when blood is involved, when kindred blood is involved. I don't become attached like that. It's never been a thing for me, so I told Harley to set it up so that I could do the Valkyrie. That way, at least, because I can't get that kind of connection, that maybe they won't notice and I can actually have a bit of an insight to what is going on without that control.
Is that what he was going to... Is that what you guys said he was going to go do when everything happened?
I think so. As far as I told him to do it, and I think that might be what he was planning to do. That's what I told him I needed him to do, and I told him not to tell anybody until I could tell you. I can't let them go down this alone.
You said that it's not normal, that this connection doesn't work the same. How do you know it doesn't override whatever you've got going on?
It's never been an issue before with blood, and I just assume that even though it's still blood.
There's more to it. There's like a ritual thing, and it doesn't work the same, and it overrides other connections. Like,
it's the only thing that I could think of to do before things become really bad.
if you're assuming that it works the same, then it would make sense that it fades over time. And if Harley is already showing withdrawal symptoms by not going back there and re-upping, then we need to keep him away from them more.
That's the thing now, is I don't really think that it is withdrawal symptoms, because if it was a thing like that, they would just summon him back to him. I have a very difficult time thinking that the two Elder Sabbat members don't know when those effects start to wear off.
Maybe they don't know because they don't hold off. Maybe they keep doing the thing and they never have to know. Why would you know that you have this issue if you don't stop doing it?
Because it's not necessarily something that they do all the time.
Don't they? I have no idea.
They don't constantly do a Valdery. They do a Valdery when there's new people that come into their pack. And they don't do Valderies every single night. They don't do Valderies every single month. They do Valderies.
It has to be renewed, right? If it's like a blood bond.
At some point, yes, but not after a few nights. No, not like that.
Well, then we wind up back at my other point, is that if it doesn't work the same as a blood bond, then why would you want to risk the fact that you could wind up in this situation?
Because I can't be bonded at all.
And you're supposed to maintain the bond every moon cycle to keep it sturdy, but you said apparently they don't have to do that either.
I don't know exactly how long it takes for them to do things. I just don't think that it fades away that quickly. And if it did, I'm pretty sure that they would know. They've been Sabbat for a long time. A very long time. I'm fairly certain they would know how long it takes for that to wear off. If they didn't, then there's no way that they would be able to control any of their packs ever.
I mean, if it causes this immense amount of pain, it's probably pretty easy to convince somebody to stop it again.
That's another. I've never seen that before. That's not something that happens like that. It's usually just the hold that you have just kind of fades away. There's not a pain situation. It's not like that.
With this?
No, it's never been that way. I'm telling you, I've seen it before, and it's never been like a pain situation like that. It just fades their hold. What they can tell you to do and not to do and such doesn't work like that anymore. It stops being so potent to the point where, like, if they were to tell Harley to go kill someone, he could say no. It doesn't cause a pain like that. It doesn't do that. That's not what it does. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is something different.
Then what is it if it's not?
I don't know. If it's not Charlotte being dominating him into something, which you're certain that it's not her doing it, then
No.
okay, fine. It's not Charlotte, but it's somebody else. Somebody else is doing something. Maybe it's Abigail. Maybe she's done some sort of blood thing on him. Like, maybe she's doing it. It could be her, like the voodoo shit that, you see. It's not the Valkyrie. That's what I was trying to tell you before.
Okay, but no, back we spiraled. We spiraled. My point is that if this Valkyrie either works different than a normal blood bond or it doesn't. And if it works different in all of these other ways, why do you want to chance the fact that it...
Do you feel
Can't
pain
ha-
when you're bonded to somebody? Does Cassandra feel pain if that starts to wear off? Is that how that works? Because the last time that I checked, that's not the thing.
But
When I say that it's not...
that's the point, is that you said this Valkyrie is different. So if Valkyries are different than blood bonds,
But it's not different. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This Valkyrie is not any different than any other Valkyrie. It's
No,
not.
That's my point.
What's happening to Harley is different because it's not because of the damn Valkyrie.
Enough about Harley's part. My point is that why do you want to chance the fact that you can't be bonded on something that works different than a
Because
normal
he's
blood
my
bond?
best friend. And he did not leave me to die when he had a chance to years ago. And I cannot leave him to go through all of this alone.
And
With
take
the
him away
chance of
from it.
him. I can't do that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I can't just take him away from it. If I were to take him away from it, I would have to leave the city. Take him completely away from the city and hide. And even then, because the Valkyrie is still in effect, they could just call him back to him. I would have to go through extreme measures to get it to fade. Like, I would have to take him far away, and then I'd have to lock him up somewhere.
Or maybe it works the same way that other blood bonds work, when there aren't people left to be bonded to.
You want to kill them?
I was really considering it when we were up there the past couple times, when he was doing the things to you all, and then when he wouldn't help us figure out where
Charlie. Do you remember when I told you that there are things that there are that is one of the things that I was talking about, the path, that you don't have to do that. This is one of the things that I was talking about, that's what I'm for. You can't be on my side to go and kill people and then tell me that I'm doing it wrong, that I'm not okay to do that, when the next thing I know that you're considering it.
I didn't say it was a good choice. I said I was considering it.
Don't get mad at me the next time that I say that I'm considering killing Connor or somebody else.
No, I was mad because I wanted to kill Connor. I was pretty clear about that.
For fuck's sake, Charlie, what pages are we on?
I don't know anymore.
I can't keep up anymore. Like, it's just, you're okay with it and then you're not okay with it, and
I just don't want you to subject yourself to all of the responsibility and burden and downward spiral.
But you're okay to do that as long as you're with me doing it.
Not always, but
It sounds like that is the case, which, if I'm not disagreeing with you, if that's what you think may need to happen to keep him from being a pawn in Sabat games, then I'm all for going straight up to Trevor's floor right now and doing it.
that would be suicide. Trevor would probably kill us.
Okay, then let's call them down to this floor.
That would probably be easier. I'm remembering when Trevor came through the floor and smashed the werewolf. There's a lot of factors. Look, bigger picture point, why I came here in the first place. Obviously, there are times when things have to be done that are not good. Things that people don't like. You have to do those things to help other people. Even if everybody else doesn't understand it, you have to do the things that might upset everybody else.
That's what I've been trying to do.
Right. My point is that I get that. I get that. But you don't have to be the only person to shoulder it, and you don't have to always do it. Because taking it entirely on yourself means that everybody else has to watch you be in pain. Instead of us doing this together and working it out together. You don't have to be the sacrificial lamb. You escaped that.
It doesn't feel like it.
Well, you did, because you're still here. And you get to choose.
So what are we going to do then?
Well, Cassandra's gonna go sort things out with Charlotte. And then we're going to come together and we're going to figure out our next move. And if we have to clear pawns and kings off the table to do it, we'll figure that out together. But together. Okay?
Okay. But don't get mad at me if I need to kill somebody again.
Can we like talk about it though instead of just go off and do it?
If there's time and it's not something that has to happen right then, like, you know, if somebody walks in on part of, like, if somebody had walked in on this whole conversation about us killing them,
That's, I mean, yeah.
then they kind of need
no.
to not exist anymore. And
No, I
it
mean, yeah,
kind of-
they'd be dead already, but like.
Okay,
in general,
so
it's the forward planning thing, and the whole like I'm gonna, I'm going to do this. I'm going to Diablo this person to protect everybody. Like that's a conversation thing.
okay. As long as there is time and it's not, I think that has to happen right then, and I will talk to you about it and let you know that I plan on killing somebody.
And it's a conversation, not just I'm gonna go kill somebody. Bye.
Okay, it's a conversation. I'll hear your side of it.
Okay.
Are we good?
I think so. I like the red.
I think I did too.
The white too.
And then maybe Cassandra might be influencing me just a little bit.
I don't know. Nobody else is supposed to wear red. You might have to throw yourself out.
I think I'm going to be okay, considering she's the one that gave it to me.
That's fair.
But I'll be sure to ask her if I ever decide to wear red again, just to make sure I don't get thrown out.
Conversation.
Conversations. No more lies either. We don't need to do this. If we're going to actually go forward with all of this, then all of us need to sit down. There can't be any more. It's not getting us anywhere. It's just making it all worse.
Like you said a while ago, everybody has secrets. The real thing is going to be, can we stop making new ones?
I guess we'll find out, huh?
And on that note, we're gonna shift
See all of
focus a
you
little
just
bit.
freaking out on me. I'm trying to keep character.
God, this side chat over here. I'm like, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
For everybody playing the home game, our Zoom chat basically just exploded with people going, okay, now it's Charlie's turn to tell the truth.
That's not how this works.
Like the entire over here, this entire chat's just like I keep seeing little flashes like, nope, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Look over here. Look away.
Empire is a social game.
Oh my god.
So, we're going to rack focus a little bit to Cassandra, since there's two different elevators that go up to the Trevor floor. You come out of one with the lattice of finger things that separate, and then soon after you have that kind of conversation with yourself, wondering where everybody is. Another elevator opens up and Harley steps out.
What are you doing?
weren't
Hi.
You weren't part of my job.
I hope to God you're not part of mine.
I'm here to make nice with Charlotte.
I have no idea what I'm doing up here right now other than I need to be up here. And the fact that you are here by yourself scares the shit out of me right now.
Are you having that thing again where you're getting told where to go?
I was told that my pack needs me and I needed to come up here.
And at that point, walking out of an adjacent area with Charlotte, you see Alexandru. Now, Harley, don't be so cutting. Worth mentioning the pack. We're all family. Family, even.
True. Very true. What? Ma'am, what are you doing up here?
Oh, me and Alexandra were just having a conversation. What are you two doing up here? Oh, I know why you're here. Why are you here? He points to Cassandra.
I came to talk to you.
And you know what?
And here I half expected you to have an accent. So easily influenced.
She needed someone. You've seen how she is lately.
And you thought that together you would point your guns at me.
There were no guns, just fires.
Metaphorical guns.
Oh.
I'm going to inch over towards Alexander. I don't want to be in the middle of this bullshit.
I'd rather be next to the Sabat
We didn't aim any guns at anyone. It just seemed kind of convenient that Harley was having his little freak out, and we knew about your contracts. And you know how Elena jumps to, like, all of these conclusions?
And once again, as I told you, hurts me so badly. In what little cold heart I have left, my best friend, Cassandra, doesn't trust me.
Oh, are we still best friends after those 3 nights you spent with Connor? 'Cause, like, my other best friends don't do that.
Okay. So then I'm hurt again, because once again, my best friend, Cassandra, doesn't trust me to act with her best interests in heart.
And my best friend Charlotte didn't have my back when it was clear Connor was trying to get one over on me, and instead totally went along with it.
Do they always do this?
We're in a bad spot right now.
I see. Something
So-
that would help with that.
Wait, what?
So what you're telling me is that you would love it. It would be maybe the greatest gift anybody has ever given you, to give you a scenario where you could communicate with Connor, knowing that it was impossible for him to try and hurt you. That would be a beneficial situation that you might actually like, even if your best friend had to go stay at his place for 3 days?
I mean, I don't really know if that's the outcome that I would expect from that scenario.
Because my best friend Cassandra doesn't trust me to act with her best intentions in heart.
I mean, it's less about that and more about the fact that while you can't get all googly-eyed when he does his thing, that doesn't actually really help me with the googly eyes.
Right. So what if your best friend Charlotte fixed that scenario for you, maybe made it so that Connor physically can't do anything to ever hurt you again?
Oh! Oh!
But you didn't trust Charlotte.
Oh! Oh.
Sorry, I'm not particularly good at playing nice today. So I thought I might say it bluntly.
I might have slightly misunderstood this situation at hand, as it turns out.
And if I may intercede, I think this perfectly illustrates the whole root problem of this fucked up little family that we've built. People not playing above board with each other. I do my thing. I go about my work. I keep my nose out of other people's business when I don't have to for work. But
Okay.
the fact remains is there's one hand doesn't know what the other one's doing while the foot's I fucked up the analogy, but the fact remains is that we're fucked up.
No, Harley, that's a great analogy. And in this
Are
body,
you the foot?
I don't
Looks a
know.
bit like a foot.
Yeah.
In this body, the foot doesn't worry about what the brain tells the rest of the body to do. The brain is the one that acts independently and tells all of the parts to move, and every aspect, every part, the hands, the feet, the heart, the lungs, they all expect the brain to keep the body functioning. Correct?
Correct.
I think so. I wasn't good at geometry.
That's
Right.
but the and I look over at Alexandria.
Geometry?
So, I look the. All right, why am I here?
The reason
I'm curious
you're
about
here,
that too.
Charlie, is because Charlie brought up a great point when I just talked to him.
Okay. Point being,
It's taking too long for us to get to our goal.
Yes.
yes.
When I left Victor Davenport and set out on this entire venture, we as a coterie came up with a goal. Actually, Charlie came up with a goal. What was that goal?
Take control of the city.
Yeah,
Take
that one.
control of the city and let everybody operate independently and together like some wonderful communist hippie commune. I'm not
Right.
against it. That's not bad. My goals aligned with that goal, in that in such a world, Charlotte Ardennes no longer has to answer to anybody. But here I am, how many months deep? I'm the then true primogen, and I still answer to people.
Like who?
Well, I have to answer to the prince. You guys weren't Camarilla before. I've functioned essentially for the past 50 years as a cog in this machine. I know how it works. I know that despite the fact that I'm the figurehead of my clan, that I answer to somebody higher than me, I also answer to the demands, the needs of every Ventru that came and visited me. I have to deal with contenders, people who now have soured on me because my group has offended them in some way. I answer to them now. I'm upholden to them. So, Charlie brought up a great point. Why are we taking so long to get to our goals?
We take forever because shit happens, we nearly fall apart, and we spend forever in a day trying to get back on track and make up for lost time.
Right. Which is why I told Charlie to do whatever it was necessary so that we can achieve our goal. And in doing so, I will throw whatever resources he needs to do that. Because I'm tired of waiting.
Okay.
If you let me off the leash, ma'am, that's not going to be a problem. I can promise you that. I only hold back because it's not in my job description and you haven't told me to do it yet.
But Harley, that wasn't my goal, was it?
True.
My goal was to not answer to anyone.
Right, but we've kind of reached the point in the plan where we're either at the delicate political negotiation phase or we're at the smash and burn it all down phase, and a decision has to be made real soon.
Right, but that's assuming that this plan is necessary for me to get my goal.
True.
Do you have a different plan?
If I come to this floor, I talk to this man, and we make a business deal, a merger, then all of a sudden I'm equal partners in something that I no longer answer to anyone. Like that.
Don't you already own this place though? Like what business deal?
I, at this point in time, would like to roll willpower to try to act against the Vauldery, please.
Sure.
And that's half humanity added on, right? I think
Not for a straight willpower roll,
Okay.
no.
All
You're
right.
thinking about humanity rolls.
Yeah, damn it.
Just wait until Charlie and Elena go looking for him, because Elena's gotta talk to Charlotte now and try to smooth that over, and then we're gonna find them, and it's like, oh shit, you already did the thing.
I got 3.
Damn it.
Yeah, you could probably act against it. Except for the fact that I remember your roll against Nixodon. Speaking of whom,
Mm-hmm.
she actually walks around another corner.
Oh, yeah, and I'm
It
like
is
at
a-
an 8 or 9 with her.
Yeah, it's a very, very large, very shrouded Nosferatu appears. I believe I am a part of that business arrangement.
Well, that
Yes,
doesn't
you
make
are.
any sense. Do you want to live here too?
No, I don't particularly want to live here. I just think I want to skip a few steps.
Can I intentionally take willpower damage to act against the Vauldery, please?
If you want.
Yes, please.
Cassandra's working really hard to put this together.
I'm going to approach Cassandra, and I'm going to whisper in her ear, "You need to get out of here right now. Don't ask questions. Go back and find Elena and Charlie."
Cassandra, remember what I said about having your best interest at heart?
Uh-huh.
And about not worrying about what the mind has planned, just trusting it? Considering that you know better than anyone else, thinking isn't exactly your strong suit.
It's true.
I think this is a better direction for us as best friends.
Will she be joining us as well?
My eyes are just pleading at Cassandra. I can't do anything else.
Can I make a wits or an intel roll to put this together? No one said it outright, and I don't feel like Cassandra's smart enough to figure it out.
I'm joining the Sabat, Cassandra.
So here's another funny story. I was trying to tell Lex in the chat to roll Dex plus Stealth because she was going to attempt to kind of pocket text Charlie or Elena, and my autocorrect just completely came out of nowhere, and it readjusted it to Sex plus Stealth, and I'm like, wait a minute,
And
that's
that's a
not right.
great roll for Cassandra.
Oh.
So the other one that you had me roll is 5 successes. So.
5 successes. It is. There's a few spelling errors, but yeah, you would. What message would you like to?
Problem in Trevor. Need help. Blood emoji, blood emoji, blood emoji, blood emoji, blood emoji, blood emoji. And I know that one's in my recently used emojis from
It
a
is.
previous episode.
So, does Cassandra put it all together at this point? Now that Charlotte basically laid it all out.
Yeah, yes, but I'd like to still get that text sent because I love the tension of them racing up here to see if Cassandra's smart enough to kill time.
Sure.
Oh, aren't we not supposed to do that?
What are we supposed to do then? Be Camarilla? That's been so good for us.
That's a good point.
There will be strength in numbers, child.
She speaks truth.
Think of it like
Do like
getting in on the bottom floor of a new venture.
like in the elevator, or
Right. To get to the top
Something
floor, you have to
along
start
those
at the bottom.
lines.
Yeah.
And I look over to Nyx. Ma'am, we should probably speed this up. Night is coming to an end, and I've got work I need to get done downstairs. It's a
And-
very pressing matter.
From under the folds of the kind of funeral dress that Nixodon is wearing with the veil, a Valdery cup comes out, and it's not attached to any of her regular arms. Bleed into this, child.
I'll go over to Cassandra and I'll ask, Charlotte. I will go over to Charlotte and I will lead her over to the cup.
We get this text message that got sent?
Yes.
After everything we've been through at this point, you still don't trust me.
No, I trust you. It's the other people that I don't altogether. I mean, they like summoned Harley in like the middle of the night, and that's sketchy, right?
It is a little bit sketchy, but as I understand it, we're not subordinates in this ordeal. We're all equal partners. And the little family that we've got going on right now has been undercutting a lot more than equal partners should.
What about Charlie and Elena though? Like I don't want to join
They
some kind
will
of
be
new
able to-
family and leave my old one behind.
They will be able to join as well if they so wish.
Sorry, my headphones just disconnected. One sec.
Meanwhile, Elena looks at Charlie and sees his concern on his face, and she's like,
Yeah, I'm just like,
What's
I'm
wrong?
literally like pulling her like by like the,
"Wait,
the
what?
red cup.
No,
we need to go. We need to
What's
go.
wrong? What is going on?"
Trouble upstairs. Upstairs, Harley, Cassandra, Nick, Alexandru.
Okay, all right, we're going. Okay.
We have to go.
It's
We
okay.
have to go. We have to go. Just to the elevator up.
Yep, going up.
Sorry, I'm here. My bad.
Honestly,
They-
Cassandra, I feel as though the best way to protect this family is to make sure that the strongest in this city are more invested in our protection.
I'll walk up to, I'm gonna kind of like tug on Charlotte's arm a little bit. Man, we need to hurry.
Do you really think it's a good idea, Charlotte? Really?
I do.
Okay, you're like the smartest person I know, so if you really think this is a good idea,
And if it's a bad idea, we'll have each other to work it out.
Harley's crying a blood tear as they're going about this.
so we're good? All's forgiven?
All is forgiven. My best friend.
So is everyone bleeding into the cup?
Yes.
I'll actually escort Charlotte over, and I'll like offer, if she's gonna let me, I'll offer her arm up to Nyx.
Yeah, there's another knife that is detailed and ornate. It's like a sacrificial knife that comes out, and if Charlotte holds her wrist above, the knife will cut across it, cut across
she'll
your
do that.
arm and bleed in. Same for Cassandra.
Yup.
We're gonna get there too late.
I mean, yeah,
Oh my
like it's not a slow elevator. And
Over to Harley.
And Cassandra's definitely dawdling a little, but not like I'm dragging my feet till I get rescued.
While we're in the elevator, Elena just like, "What is going on? What are you?
Charlie's
What is the
just nervously
problem?
rubbing the numbers off of his face at this point. It's just
Charlie, talk to me."
Cassandra said that there was a problem upstairs that involved Alexandru and like Harley, and if we were just talking about this problem with them, and so if there's a problem and she's up there and she needed to text us, and she was supposed to go find Charlotte, and now she's up there, then there's something wrong, and
You don't think that they would try to de-devolve there? You think that maybe that Alexander might be making his move against us?
Either way, I think we're going to have to do the thing that we talked about.
Harley struggled a little bit, but he did bleed into the cup.
All right. And the other two bleed in as well. And Nixodon sticks like an incredibly long pinky finger in and mixes it around. And Alexander takes the cup from her and says, "Blessed Cain, we induct 2 new members into the sword as of this eve. They will strengthen the sword against the hated Camarilla and the Anarts.
Praise Cain.
Praise Cain." And he's looking at Charlotte and Cassandra.
Oh, right. Praise Cain.
Ditto?
We'll work on it. And he hands the goblet over to Cassandra. And just as the goblet comes close to Cassandra's lips, that's when the elevator doors open, and we're going to cut off this episode.
Yep.
Oh my god!
I was hoping you were going to.
I hate it.
I was hoping you were going to cut
Guys.
it that close. I was hoping you were going to cut it that close because any later in the next episode is going to start real different.
All right, I just have to say that Elena said she was gonna do this first. God damn it!
You
We're
guys
just
are
gonna
all
do this on
followers.
your bandwagon.
Now you're gonna look like a bandwagoner.
Yeah,
I
Elena.
know.
Elena just turned into the most Toreador of all. Like, no, you're the follower. Your guys are following me.
No, it's fine because Elena has plans, and if things go really, really bad, like, I have a thought as to what could happen, and I don't even want to
Now,
go into
let's-
that right now.
let's not
That's
speculate just yet.
man.
So, thank you everybody for viewing. Tune in next week for the stunning conclusion of the telenovela that is Vancouver Adjacent by Night, which, by the way, thanks again to Dogmite, because unfortunately I didn't even get a chance to use it this particular episode because I didn't roll any dice. To Level Up Dice as well, thank you for all of these awesome dice, which I again didn't get a chance to roll, but I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it in the next episode.
Yeah.
So let's do some quick outros and tell everybody where you're going to be at, what you're doing, and let's start with Brennan.
I am Brennan. I was Charlotte. I've taken control of my life.
All
I'll be
those
playing-
self-help books.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
I've been-
Charlotte.
I'll be playing 10 Candles with Sam,
Yes.
and that's it. I don't know when it is, but I'm doing it.
There's a reason why Lysandra
Soon.
don't like Ventrue. Just gonna say.
Oh, snap.
Wow. The Shade. And let's go next to Zachary.
Hey, I'm Zachary Vowder. I played Charlie Lawrence. I'm about to take control of everybody else's life. That's your handle, and my links are over there. You hopefully just saw me do storytelling a one-shot over on Martlet Games. If you didn't, hop back over there later to watch it. It's called Last Kindred Standing. It has me putting 5 kindred on an island, battle royale style, to see how they do. It went interesting. It's fun. Over on twitch.tv/Martlet Games. A Tale by Night is where you can usually find me. We are in our postseason. I will be doing a postseason interview show, Blood Bonding, on Tuesday. We'll be answering questions about the wonderful situation that my character Anton is in, because he is also totally fine and not everything has gone to hell. So that's on twitch.tv/ATL by Night, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
I'm not sure I believe you.
I mean, have I lied to anybody?
Ow! Oh,
Oh, yeah.
You can
Let's
also
check-
find. You can
Let's
also
check
find
the
me-
group chat.
You You can also find me on the Bard's Playhouse. I just guested on their D&D stream, Let Chaos Reign, this past Wednesday.
Ooh.
I will be in a game with them next month, and I am also just wherever tabletop games are played at this point.
And Sam.
Hi, everyone. I'm Samantha McLarty, and I played Elena Cortez, the La Sombra, and I thought that I was the bad influence, but I mean, clearly
think
the
I'm
Venture is
bad.
trying to upstage me at this point.
I think I'm right.
Hey, remember, if they're talking about them and not you, it's because they're evil.
Right? Linktree is in the chat. I'm gonna be running a 10 Candles game. It's got a lovely little twist to it. Brennan will be in it. Patrick will be in it.
Is that the twist that they're in it?
No,
Yes.
no, that's
Okay.
not the twist. It's a much better twist. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Still getting everything together. I think I'm in other things. I can't think right now because I'm too busy, like, still reeling about this Valdery that's about to happen. Oh my god. Okay.
Whole bunch of Martlet stuff.
A whole bunch of Martlet stuff. Follow the link tree. Follow me on socials and you'll see all the things. And holy shit. All right, next.
Hi.
Patrick.
Patrick
It's
Gill.
your fault, Patrick.
Creative director of Martlet Games. It is my fault. Yeah, there's tons of stuff happening over in our neck of the woods. They're projects, lots, Linktree, chat there, Twitter handle there, .com in the Linktree. Have fun. Love you all. Good night.
And last but certainly not least, the person who's about to get everybody in a shitload of trouble, Lex.
Hi, I'm Lex. I was Cassandra. I hope someone takes control of my life very soon here.
Praise Kane.
Ditto.
Price Cane Hut Train, right?
You can't really find me anywhere else right now. I'm just here, but I will be launching my horror game sometime August, September-y. That will be on the Vancouver by Night channel. And it doesn't matter what character I play next because they will absolutely be wearing these sunglasses because I felt so cool all game. So this is Cassandra now. Get on board.
That's a killer
You
look.
look so cool.
I
Like,
feel so cool with them.
fuck yeah.
And this guy-
Legitimately though, as soon as she got on with like the real dark eyes, I was like, well fuck, I gotta go do more. Shit.
And this guy is Storyteller Steve. This week coming up, we actually have a full slate. So this week we're gonna have Tuesday D&D. Wednesday will be Changeling, and then we're gonna raid into the Martlet stuff from there. Then we're gonna have the Saturday takeover next week. We're gonna have the full slate. Delve will be back, and then Sunday we're gonna have more D&D. So we've got 4 things going on this week. So tune into all of those on Vancouver by Night. It's over there. Thanks again to Dogmite for the player pads that are super cool. Got the Onyx. And Level Up Dice for giving us the opportunity to play in your channel. So we are going to kick over to rolling these 20s at this point, and Lex, take us out.
Yeah. Oh wait, everyone, get your headphones off or on or whatever you need to.
Got it.
Thank you for joining us tonight on Vancouver Adjacent. We hope you enjoyed the ride and the Valdery. We're going to roll over into rolling these 20s. Have a good night.